On a real note, I feel like the older generation, like my grandmother, so to speak, I let her know that, hey, yeah, exactly. I'm having a child, and, of course, I'm not married to my girlfriend. But marriage is definitely in the, it will be in the works, and it's going to happen because I do love her that much. But I feel like her generation would say, you need to get married because you're having a baby. Because you're having a baby out of wedlock. And I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with that, because I feel that my girlfriend is who I need to be with. And regardless of the fact if we're married or not, I'm going to still be in my daughter's life. If we continue to have children, we're not married, I'm going to still be in my children's life. So it doesn't matter if we're married or not, because the kids don't care. They just want to see if daddy and mommy are together.
Well, you do know, like, marriage, like I tell people all the time, when I got married, it wasn't no proposal or nothing. I told my wife she's on the way out the door. I was like, hey, let's get married in a couple weeks on the 16th. And she was like, she looked back and she was like, okay. So like basically the point I'm trying to make is, I just got what you're saying is you're already married.
Yeah.
That's marriage. What you go perform in front of a judge or in the church, that's just a ceremony.
Right.
Then the license make it legal.
Right.
But it's got to be in your heart first. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I tell people, I ain't get married. I just got my paperwork straight. You know what I'm saying? Because I was already married. We had kids. We was living in the house. We bought a house together. We had the cars. We had everything but the paperwork. So,
true.
I mean, I never fought marriage. We just never took the time to do it. But what are you saying? What you're saying is true. If it's not in your heart first, it don't matter if you got the paper or not.
That is true. Maria, what you think about that?
That was deep.
It's got to be in your heart. Everything, it's got to be in your heart first, no matter. And that's, I don't even like my man. He DJ. He'll be a better DJ than I don't even know him. But if he's married to it, like he's doing all these things, he's married to DJing. You know what I'm saying? It's in his heart. So people like that, they'll do it for free. You know what I'm saying? Because they love to do it. You know what I'm saying? So
that's after refunds dropped, though.
Yeah, but but don't get me wrong. You don't take no shorts out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. When you love to do something, it's in your heart first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
My first 8 years.
And I feel like that kind of turns to, is marriage really about love anymore? And I honestly feel like it is. I mean, if it's in the heart, whether or not there's a baby on the way or not, there's some kind of commitment made between those two people. And some people, might need that proof of that certificate signed off. Some people just kind of need to go off, elope, and call it a day.
Yeah, and it's kind of, and it really depends on the person. And I tell people all the time, marriage is who you marry. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people badmouth marriage, and marriage, what it does is it brings the bottom out of you, without using that kind of language. It brings it. You got to man up, you got to woman up, because marriage, like, it's one-on-one, and you, like, everything is, the act is over. All the smoke and mirrors are gone, you know what I mean? So like, you is just raw. This woman see you naked all the time, and you can't fake it no more. So, you know what I'm saying? So you can't fake it no more. So now it's your person in purest form. And sometimes you look up and I'm like, man, I liked her when I first seen her, you know what I'm saying, in the student union, but I don't like this person no more. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, and it happens. So like marriage, you gotta pull all your nakedness. Not literally and you know what I'm saying, figuratively and literally. That's what I'm trying to say, but it's a hard thing to do, and just for that reason, it's got to be in your heart. You know what I mean? And then if it's in your heart, anything, it survive money, financial issues, kids, hurricanes, whatever.
God, that's true. Do you think, as a guy and as men, or not? Do you think? But how can men, when they approach that time of getting married, and of course, let's say they go 5 years and being married, do you think that they can rekindle that liking or that love that they had for their girlfriend, their wife, when they first laid eyes on her?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people like the newness of a relationship, but the thing about it is, in the relationship, things happen. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is not to focus on to answer your question, how you rekindle that is, a lot of people spend a lot of years together and they learn to focus on a lot of negative stuff. Right. You got to focus on the moment you met her. You didn't know nothing about her. Mm-hmm. It was pure. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Y'all was new to it. So to get that back, you got to let all that anger and all the little heartache and all that, you got to release all that. then y'all can get back to being the purest form of the relationship. You know what I mean?
And I feel like getting to know people, know married couples, or even like people in committed relationships, like you learn that phase where it's like you don't know them, you get to know them, and then you have that like honeymoon stage.
Exactly.
But then it's like, think about it. Then there's a time where you kind of have to figure out if you can tolerate each other.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what setting, whether that's that nakedness you're telling
exactly.
giving up that soul to that other person. So I think it's really healthy to kind of rekindle a relationship or kind of spice things up, whether it is 5 years, a year,
right.
you know.
But then you have to go back to doing those things. You have to, like, you date in the beginning. Right. You go to the park, you go to the movies, you date. Then kids and cars and all that, and you stop dating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you gotta to keep that moment. You gotta. It's just like anything else. You have to whip those ingredients to keep that moment going. You know what I mean?
That's true. It's funny y'all say that because I was watching yesterday, I think it was, one of my favorite movies called Couples Retreat. It's where they actually, you know, want the main couple that's trying to get them to go on the retreat is going through a divorce, and so they say by going on this trip, we are going to decide if we're going to continue through with the marriage or if we're going to stop it. And when they go on this retreat, they figure out why they fell in love with their significant other.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the principle of the retreat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As you grow older, man, a lot of times in a relationship, like I have to watch with my wife and all of you'll wind up spending more time talking about bills than just talking about whatever. When you're dating, you talk about whatever. You want to know, you know, what time you get time, what time you wake up. At a certain point, did you pay the mortgage? Did you pay, you know what I'm saying? And that starts happening. You know what I'm saying? And that starts happening so much to the point where you realize that's all you do is. And at that point, you're business partners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that point, you're just nothing but business partners.
That is true. That is true. And it depends on how good of a business partner you are, because sometimes it can get lethal. The words can get lethal. Oh, man. Oh, you ain't paid the mortgage? Oh, watch, you ain't gonna have no food in the refrigerator today.
When I open tonight.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, the word, a lot of people won't believe me when I first say it, but if you ever think about it, verbal abuse is worse than physical abuse.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I hit you in the eye, it'll heal in a week or two. But people have said something to everybody in this room when we was in the 3rd grade, we never forgot. Words are strong. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't. And a lot of times, and like I tell people all the time, females use their mouth the way a man uses his hands. That's their defense system and all that. So a lot of times you got to watch that. But I mean, you slinging the words around. I mean, it's hard.
Or they give you that one look where you're like, ooh, you know you did something wrong.
And you know, and you just said, and that's a lot of things. Another thing about a relationship, it's not about a man or woman or who's in control or not. It's about followers and leaders, and the best leaders got to know when to follow. So it doesn't matter if you're the man or the woman. When you're right, you got to be the leader. Say like some things you may be better at than I am. So in that point, you're the leader. Some things I'm better at. So if I tell people all that, like financially, my wife, like I didn't want to buy a house. I didn't want to do none of that. It was her. And I was like, man, we're gonna buy a house. But I look up years later, it was a good thing because now we in it is going like that. But if it was up to me, you know, she had to be the leader on that. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of fussing and fighting about it. You know,
that's right. Well, hey, we got more trending topics coming up next after this music break. DJ Rain, take it back to the